Hi everyone, and welcome to MicroMoment Monday. About 2 weeks ago on our MicroMoment, I took you all to my office and showed you around my office and explained to you what I did. And many of you saw me take out my bottle of Stearamine and spray off my desk. And I made a comment something like, yes, I use it in my office as well as using it at home. And I had several people ask, can you please tell us more about Stearamine? And so that's going to be what we're going to talk about today. And it is becoming more and more important to double check our sanitizers and our disinfectants to be sure that we know that they are effective in doing what they're supposed to do. So I have three things set out here. I have Clorox, regular Clorox, I have Clorox wipes, and then I have Stearamine. Now Stearamine comes in tablet form, like about the size of a dime, and they're just tablets. And in this jar there are 150 tablets. And I am now doubling the strength of the Stearamine that I do, and I'm using a full tablet instead of a half a tablet. But let's start over here. First of all, let's start with what the difference is between sanitizing and disinfecting. And actually we need to talk about three things. We need to talk about cleaning, sanitizing, disinfecting, or actually I should do it the other way. Cleaning, sanitizing, disinfecting, if we're moving from least powerful to most powerful in terms of getting rid of germs and viruses. Cleaning is removing the dirt from off a surface. And right now we're just talking about hard surfaces like countertops, like porcelain bowls, like tubs, like toilets, that type of thing. And so we are all really familiar with Clorox. Many of us use this as our go-to cleaner, and we can just use a general term. But is it a sanitizer or is it a disinfectant? Well, the EPA governs that, and depending on the chemicals that are used, they use the term sanitize and disinfecting. Sanitizing will clean off, will kill microorganisms like bacteria and that sort of thing. Disinfecting will also kill viruses. And so for my money, I'm wanting a disinfectant. And so we can start with soap and water and getting the dirt all cleaned off, and then we're going to want to treat it with some kind of a chemical compound or a product that will kill germs. So let's take a look at first Clorox. Clorox advertises on the front that it kills 99.9% of germs. Clorox wipes also advertise 99.9% of germs. Now I don't have any Lysol Spray, but Lysol Spray came to the forefront, especially during COVID. And I just checked today, and Lysol Spray kills 99.9% of germs. And I'm going to save just a moment. I'm not going to tell you what this one does, because we're going to talk about just what this means. So if I tell you that 99% of something is what the end result was, it is easy to think, whoa, 99%? That's really a lot. 99%, hey, I'd love to get that on a chemistry exam. That would be wonderful. What about 99.9%? Is that all that much more? Why do they even bother putting any numbers after the decimal point? Well, I'm going to give you a little illustration, and I've used this in a previous video, so forgive me if you've already seen that, but I think it's a very powerful metaphor for what we want to talk about. So let's imagine for a moment that on this countertop we have 100,000 germs, 100,000 different germs, whatever it is, E. coli or whatever. How do I get the most bang for my buck to get most of them off? Well, we're going to switch metaphors here for just a minute, and we are going to, instead of talking about germs on a countertop, we're going to talk about airplanes in the sky. So supposing that there are 100,000, right at this very moment in time, there are 100,000 airplanes in flight right now. And what if 99% of those land safely? Is that a big number? Would we be concerned with the number that crashed and burned? That would be 1%. What is 1% that didn't make it home safely if we're talking about 100,000? If you're quick with math, you will know that 1% of 100,000 is 1,000. 1,000 airplanes did not make it back. So if it were really airplanes, that would be huge. It would make global news. Well, when we attach greater significance, like people in airplanes, to numbers, all of a sudden it begins to mean more to us. So does that 0.9% on these two things really make that much difference? What if those same 100,000 planes that are in the air, of those, 99.9 returned home safely? So how many would that be that crashed and burned? If you said 100, you're right. 100 crashed and burned. Whew, that's still a huge number if we're thinking about planes and people. So these two products would kill about, well, they're advertised to kill 99.9% of germs. So if we wiped off our countertop and followed the directions for these two, then we would know that we left 100 behind. And compared to 100,000, that seems pretty realistic, but even thinking of 100 germs on my countertops gives me the creeps. And so I might be looking for something a little more powerful. So what if we found some kind of a sanitizer that was advertised that it would take care of 99.99%? And again, airplanes. How many airplanes would crash and burn out of 100,000 if 99.99% of them made it home safely? Only 10 would crash and burn. That's a far cry from our first 99% of 1,000. So we're getting better. I don't know what might fit here for 99.99%. I couldn't really find anything. But what about 99.39s? 99.999% of 100,000 airplanes. How many would crash and burn? Only one. And so as I'm thinking about 100,000 bacteria or germs on this countertop, and if I could wipe it with something that would get rid of all but one, oh wait, there it is right there. I think I got it.
You missed it, it jumped. It's like a fly.
It jumped over on you.
Oh, is that? Maybe I had to start to cough.
So that would be very acceptable to me. Well, is there a product out there that does that? Oh yeah, there is. And it is Stearamine. 99.39s. 99.999%. And it kills bacteria and viruses, including the HIV virus, and including the COVID virus and all of its derivatives. So, a couple things about Clorox. The killer ingredient in Clorox, the ingredient that kills things, is chlorine. Chlorine occurs naturally as a gas. When we clean with Clorox, many of us associate that smell with cleanliness, the Clorox smell. When I wash my sinks out with Clorox, that smell wafts up and I smell it and I think to myself, ooh, my sinks are really clean. Well, do you know what that is? That is chlorine gas that is escaping. And what that means is that what is left is less effective. When we dump it in our mop water and can smell it, that killing ingredient is leaving the water. And also, it escapes this plastic bottle when it is closed up on our shelf. That is why we do not use Clorox that is more than 6 months old for things like disinfecting water or sanitizing water, because it becomes less and less effective with time. So what about these wipes, Clorox wipes? Couldn't I just wipe my countertop? Sure, I can wipe my countertop with Clorox wipes, and I would leave behind 100 germs out of 100,000. Depends on what your feelings are about that. What is the killing ingredient here? Most of us would think, because this says Clorox on it, that it is the same chlorine. But if you've smelled these wipes, they don't smell a bit like Clorox. The killing ingredient here is quaternary ammonia. Very powerful, but still only 99.9. So what is the killing ingredient here? It's also quaternary ammonia. Very powerful in larger concentration. And this is food safe, it is kid safe, it is people safe, unless you drink it straight from the jar. So be sure you don't do that. And so what we want to do is spray the countertop to get the best effect. And we can wipe it around, smear it around. I'm not wiping it off, I'm getting it wet all over. And then if I leave it for just 1 minute, then it has been powerful enough to kill 99.999. And after a minute, then I can dry it off. And the cool thing about this is Clorox is one and done. Clorox wipes are one and done. But Stearamine continues killing for several hours afterward. If something comes, if a germ comes by and lands here, he's DOA, dead on arrival, because that substance is right there. And that substance, as minute as that is food safe. This is used in restaurants as a go-to. All right, now I checked prices just this afternoon. 6-ounce spray bottle of Lysol is $6. Clorox wipes for 75 count is $4.25. Oh, I forgot to check the cost of regular Clorox. I don't know, Jim, do you have any idea?
I haven't purchased Clorox for wipes, so I don't know.
Anyway, you can look that up quickly if you wish. Stearamine is $10 to $12 for one jar, one bottle. So how much do I have in here? I have 1 tablet in here. There are 150 tablets. You do the math. When I bought these, I could do a quart with a half a tablet for 4 cents a quart. That's the price I paid. Price has gone up a little bit, but compared to these other products, this is amazingly inexpensive, and it is far more powerful. So using 1 tablet right here, I have 150 quarts for $10. You do the math. And so this is why Stearamine is my go-to disinfectant, because it will kill not just bacteria, it will also kill viruses. So that's one quick lesson on Stearamine, and I hope it is helpful for you. I actually have this up on our Amazon store for your convenience, but you can get it many other places as well. So you might just check it out and see what people are saying about it, read the reviews, and you can read the scientific information there as well. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Monday for MicroMoment Monday.